everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I am going to be doing a Survivor Series Wargames review. And this is actually the first time that I'm doing a review on a WWE pay-per-view on my YouTube channel. It's just because I usually do like it on TikTok because it's much easier for me that way, but I'm happy to do it on YouTube and see where this takes me. So without further ado, let's get into the YouTube video. Okay, so the first match that I am going to be reviewing is the Women's Wargames match. Now, I actually really loved the Women's Wargames match. That was probably one of the best Wargames matches that I have seen coming from the women's division ever and all of that. Because basically what happened was, like, it made you be on the edge of your seat. Well, it made me be on the edge of my seat. And you would instantly think every single time, is Bayley gonna get turned on? And all of that at the end of the match, or what's happening, you know? And I'm gonna say this. I think that Bayley was the MVP of the match because she was the reason why Damage Control, like, almost, like, what would I say? She saved her team from almost losing points into the match, even though it didn't help them win because the baby faces obviously won and all of that. But basically, it was a good match through and through, and she was the MVP still. But I do reckon that somehow, like, Damage Control on Friday Night SmackDown, they're definitely going to have a reason to turn on her. And the reason for that being is because Bayley got pinned and all of that. So they're probably going to blame her for their loss still and all of that, which is going to be interesting to see because I feel like Dakota Kai, she is going to be the one to pull the trigger, I reckon, and all of that. And be like, okay, let's turn on Bayley. Bayley's no longer part of our group because she's the weakest link and all of that. So I definitely see something like that happening, and when that happens, I reckon Bayley would be the biggest, most popular babyface in the company and all of that, I reckon. Again, like she used to be. So for this match, I rate it a 9 out of 10. Could have been better with, like, Bayley getting turned on by Damage Control. That could have bumped it up to a 10. But nonetheless, I think it was a 9 out of 10. And a really good match to start off strong in the pay-per-view. Or the PLE. Okay, the next one, as you can tell, I am now going to be reviewing The Miz versus Gunter for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, this actually, I'm not even going to lie, this match literally blew me away and I wasn't expecting it. Because basically, as I said in my prediction, I thought it would be a squash match where it would be 5 minutes or 5 seconds of Gunter just literally, like, destroying The Miz. But no, the WWE actually booked The Miz really strong, and I applaud them for that. Like, I applaud them, like, for making The Miz strong, even though we all knew Gunter was going to win and all of that. And there were moments during the match though where I actually thought that The Miz would end up legit winning the title from Gunter, but Gunter retained, which was to be expected and all of that. So I rate this match an 8 out of 10. Okay, the next match that I am reviewing, as again you can tell because of the text beforehand that I'm editing in. The secrets of editing on YouTube, I swear. But Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. Now, as you guys may know, this match wasn't meant to happen. It was meant to happen between Santos Escobar and Carlito, who recently re-signed to the WWE. Now, unfortunately, Carlito got injured by Santos Escobar on the Go Home show before Survivor Series of SmackDown. Now, to be honest, this match was probably one of the only matches that I was thinking, okay, storyline wise, where's this going and all of that, you know, because like it didn't make sense with Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar, as like Dragon Lee's not in LWO, so it's like what's going on and all of that. But I mean, it was an okay match. I'm not gonna like be negative about it. I'm gonna be positive and I'm gonna say that it was an okay match. Like, I wouldn't say it was the best match of the night. I would not say that it was match of the night. So with my rating, I'm gonna be very careful and easy. I don't know what the wording would be to describe how I'm going to word like this match overall. But I rate this match a 6 out of 10. Like, it wasn't the best, but it wasn't shit either. So yeah. Next match I'm talking about is Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark for the Women's World Championship and all of that. I felt that Zoe Stark actually had an amazing match. I feel like it's one of her best matches that she has had within the main roster and all of that. Like, you could really see Rhea Ripley and Zoe Stark bring out the best in each other, which is something that when two women who can show what it takes both collide in the ring, I feel like you get a pretty good match out of it. Just like Bianca Belair versus Io Sky back at Crown Jewel and all of that. Like, you can really see them bring out the best in each other. This was another match where it had me on the edge of my seat. Is Zoe Stark going to win the title off of Rhea? But then I kept reassuring myself that Rhea's not dropping that belt until at least after Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania time, because by the time WrestleMania comes, WWE would have already come to Perth and all of that. But yeah, I feel like the match was really great. And honestly, I can't wait to see Rhea Ripley's next challenges moving forward and all of that. Because I feel like it would be a fresh start seeing who's gonna be facing Rhea next and all of that at the next pay-per-view, which won't be till Royal Rumble. But this match was really good. I am gonna give it an 8 out of 10. and all of that. So yeah. And the next match, which is the last match of the night, the men's War Games match. The men's War Games match was amazing. There were actually times where we were thinking, like, where's Randy Orton? Which, I actually loved the lead up to Randy Orton finally returning, because we actually thought that Randy wouldn't be returning at the end of it all, because like they were literally being like leading up to the match, where's Randy, where's Randy? So I absolutely loved the fact that they were doing this to savor the pop that Randy Orton was gonna get, because if they saw Randy Orton backstage, it would not have given him a good pop and all of that by the crowd. The only downfall about Randy Orton's return is they literally overshadowed it, and I'm going to be honest, they overshadowed it with someone that I will be talking about later in the video, CM Punk's return. They overshadowed Randy's return with CM Punk's return. And I feel like that, I'll talk more about it, but I feel like it wasn't fair on Randy, considering Randy would be in the match and all of that. So yeah. But overall, I absolutely love how Drew McIntyre at the end of the match sold his reaction, where he would like be really angry at the fact that his team lost. And I believe Damian Priest was the one that got pinned. I'm going to have a look at it again, but I'm pretty sure he was angry at Damian Priest for getting pinned. But yeah, I honestly loved the match. I loved the vintage move that Randy Orton used, where he got everyone to do like a DDT to all the members of Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre, like on the ropes and all of that, which was pretty cool, I'm not even gonna lie. But yeah, I've missed Randy Orton, safe to say. Like, the WWE's been like nothing without Randy Orton there and all of that. But yeah, so it was fun. I absolutely loved watching. I loved being on the edge of my seat and all of that. And I also loved how they did the effect where we thought Randy Orton wasn't coming out, and then we see Rhea running out with the briefcase and all of that, even though I was a little confused with what was going on. And then I realized that Rhea was going to be cashing in for Priest, and that Priest might have won the World Heavyweight title. I guess that distracted me from whether Randy Orton was going to return or not, because as soon as Randy Orton returned, I was like screaming. That is why my throat probably sounds like shit and all of that. But yeah. Okay, so wonder what's going to happen since there's no one in the last cage and all of that. Okay.
Seth Rollins and company have no backup.
What the hell?
Wait a minute. Oh my God.
What the fuck?
Oh my God.
Rhea, I love your girl, but you cannot cash in for Priest.
Priest is gonna cash in. Priest is gonna cash in. Not in Wargames.
But anyway, I give this match a 10 out of 10. Like, it was match of the night in my opinion. Like it was fucking awesome, man. Like, oh my gosh. Now let's talk about the returns a little bit. So CM Punk, R-Truth and Randy Orton return. Now, I already talked about Randy Orton's return. That's a part of the men's War Game match review. But I'm going to talk about CM Punk and I'm going to talk about R-Truth. I honestly did not expect R-Truth to legit return during that Ruffles segment. I actually did not expect it and all of that. Like, man, I was like, is that R-Truth? And then, like, yeah. I gotta admit, I was like that. Now, with CM Punk's return, I'm gonna say this. I actually originally on my TikTok, I said, I don't think CM Punk's returning. I really don't think CM Punk is returning. And then at the end of the men's War Games match, CM Punk's music hits and it's like, damn. Like, wow, it really did happen. Like, I was literally sitting there. I was like, what? What? Like that. Like, I was just so confused by it all. But yeah, honestly, I absolutely loved how they actually pulled it off and all of that. Like, I'm still surprised they pulled it off because I was like, I don't think he's gonna return, guys. I don't think he is going to return. And then lo and behold, he did return. I also saw a lot of news and speculation about a lot of the backstage not being very happy with this decision and all of that. Like, Seth Rollins has a major beef with CM Punk, and you could really tell in all the videos from people that were there at Survivor Series and all of that, because I saw some clips circulating of, let's just say, Seth Rollins flipping the bird. So yeah. Now, the way these secrets were handled, I'm gonna be honest, Randy Orton with the return, that was amazing how they handled it, how they were able to handle it, knowing that they had Cody Rhodes legit fucking spoil it on, like, the Monday Night Raw, like, before they legit had Survivor Series and all of that. But with all the returns in total, how they like were able to pull off these returns, I'm gonna say R-Truth, definitely a 10 out of 10, because honestly, in my opinion, like, no one actually knew that R-Truth was gonna be returning. CM Punk, I would give a 9 out of 10 because I'm surprised. And the reason why I took a point off is because, like, it did overshadow Randy Orton's return. But Randy Orton's return, I am gonna give a 10 out of 10. I believe, like, Randy Orton's return was like my favorite return of all time. Hey everyone, this is Future Caitlin here, realizing that when I was filming the video, I completely forgot the most important criteria of this video, and that is my final thoughts on Survivor Series War Games. We cannot end the video without me talking about my final thoughts, can we? No. So basically, my final thoughts on Survivor Series War Games is I absolutely loved it. It was one of Triple H's best pay-per-views that he's booked since, and all of that. Like, because as you guys may know, Survivor Series last year, I didn't really like it that much as I do this one. I feel like this Survivor Series had a lot of greatly booked matches that you could actually be on the edge of your seat for. A lot of these matches had potential and all of that, and they gave them, like, the match actually gave us all the hype and showed us why we've been hyping this match up. Like, they really lived up to the hype, I should say. I jambled my words back then, but hey. But yeah, I personally believe that this pay-per-view is PLE of the year, hands down, and all of that. Because, like, the women's Wargames match, the men's Wargames match, both Wargames matches were really great. You got, like, Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. You could definitely see the improvement in Zoe. You then got Gunter versus The Miz, blowing our minds, legit, out of the water, thinking that it was a squash match when it wasn't planned to be a squash match, and all of that, and it actually, like, gave a lot of the hype, and all of that. Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee was an okay match. I'm going to add it to my summary. And then, like, yeah. So basically, I think that's all of the matches that I talked about. Yeah, 5. But anyway, yes. As you could tell, all the matches are really great. They definitely, Survivor Series does ask a lot of questions that should be answered. Like, it left us with so many questions that will be answered on SmackDown, which hopefully this video will be out by SmackDown and all of that. So yeah. But y'all shall wait and see what goes on. I'm actually, the thing that I've got a lot of questions from with the Bayley, like, Damage Control versus, like, the babyface team and all of that is Bayley gonna get turned on today's SmackDown? That is a question that I need answered. I need that answered. Like, what's Damage Control's reaction? Because, as you guys may know, they've been leaving Bayley out a little bit, or seeming to leave Bayley out a little bit, like, of their conversations. And then when Bayley comes in, they stop talking, and they look like they're not amused with her whatsoever. So, yeah. But that is a question that will hopefully be answered, and it will solve my problems. But anyway, back to past Caitlyn. But anyway, I hope you guys liked this video and all of that, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.